Hello, good evening. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Iron Port. It is proudly brought to you by Goyle Company Limited, Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Community Network Services, as well as West Blue Consulting. And folks, I have to announce our newborn baby, new sponsor on the block, a very important sponsor for that matter. It's about time that you get insured. So we have an insurance company on board. Serene Insurance is a new sponsor who is on board. They assure you of the best insurance. If you have to deal with trade, you have to import or export, they can guarantee and insure all your trade activities for you, as well as every other form of insurance that you need to know. So Serene Insurance, welcome on board. And we'll be doing a lot of work together. And very soon you'll also be seeing them in the studio as well. The Business and Financial Times is a media partner for this program, and if you get a copy of that paper's Tuesday edition, you should be reading a lot about what transpires here, as well as they have the vessel schedules that we have been showing on the screens for you. They have it in the Business and Financial Times, so it will be better if you're expecting a vessel that's bringing your cargo. You can go there and you will know a lot about it. The Graphic Business as well is a partner for this program. Ghana Web as well, the Maritime and Transport Digest, WhatsApp News, quite a number of media outlets partner this program. Tomorrow though, if you turn to GH1 at 8:30 p.m, a bridge version of whatever discussions, whatever activities that transpire here will be on there, and my man Solomon Anderson will be taking charge from there. Also on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on GTV, Ghana Television, the abridged version will be shown there. Today we are discussing coronavirus. We are beginning to accept the fact that it's a global threat to trade as well as shipping. So we're going to discuss some of the impacts that it has had so far. We'll also look at some of the interventions, and then we will definitely look at some of the remedies that are being proposed and that are being worked on. And I have the team to do that discussion. I have team from trade, team from veterinary, team from medicine who will be discussing details. In the meantime, quite a number of things are happening in the port. I'll let you know about the 4th Executive Council meeting of Association of African Maritime Administrators program that was held by the Ghana Maritime Authority. And when we return from that, we'll continue the program.
The 4th session of the Executive Council meeting of the Association of African Maritime Administrators has been organized in Accra to discuss issues confronting the maritime industry, including wealth creation through the protection and sustainable exploitation of the African maritime domain. Members of the AAMA who attended the two-day event came from countries including Ghana, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, the Comoros, Mozambique, South Africa, Egypt, Sudan, Uganda, and Nigeria. The participants also discussed, among other things, the role the AAMA is playing in the implementation of Africa's Integrated Maritime Strategy 2050. The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Thomas Kofi Alonzi, revealed that his outfit, in keeping with its mandate, has removed tree stumps that caused significant problems to navigation in Ghana's inland waters to ensure safety.
To go on to the Volta Lake now, we are on the second leg of a project that involves ensuring that all tree stumps around a certain area where our canoes and boats ply are removed to ensure that we have safety and safety as far as navigation on the inland waters are concerned.
He revealed that the authority has purchased new boats to enhance its capacity towards the prevention of crimes at sea, especially considering the rise of piracy and kidnappings in the Gulf of Guinea.
The authority has also procured a number of boats. Just about 2 weeks ago, 2 of them have come into the country. This has to assist us in at least policing our oceans to ensure that incidents of piracy and the like, robberies and the rest, all the illicit activities you can think of, are curtailed.
The Deputy Minister of Transport, Daniel Titus Glover, praised the allied efforts of Ghana's security agencies in ensuring that international trade is protected on the country's territorial waters, and urged other countries in the Gulf of Guinea region to increase their own efforts to curtail piracy.
under the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces, particularly the Ghana Navy, with the support of the Marine Police, the Ghana Maritime Authority, are providing all the resources to make sure that from the east to the west of our territorial waters are safe to promote international trade. So we believe that our other sister countries will do the same to make sure that we protect merchants.
He lamented the inadequate participation of Africa at the International Maritime Organization's Executive Council and said his ministry would work behind the scenes to push for increased participation with the objective of improved representation of issues affecting the African maritime landscape.
I have appealed to this session, and also will let my Minister for Transport know. He will discuss with the President, then at the other level, they'll be able to talk it over to make sure that at least Africa should have more representation at the IMO Executive Council. 3 out of 38 countries, it is woefully inadequate.
The representatives of the Association of African Maritime Administrators, after the 2-day seminar, familiarized themselves with the operations at the port of Tema by touring some terminals, including the new Terminal 3, managed by MPS.
Okay, so away from that, our main topic for today is discussing the coronavirus and its the threat that it's posing to trade internationally, also locally, as well as shipping. And then we'll also be discussing the impact that it has had so far. We'll look at the interventions and look at the remedies. In the meantime, we'll return after the break.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Yeah, our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Selifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome back. So my guest in the studio, Dr. Vitus Anakbisi, is a general manager in charge of health services at the Ghana Port and Harvest Authority. Doc, good to see you.
Yeah.
Also, David Kwejo Amwating, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. Dave, good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Dr. Stephen Bona is the head of Veterinary Regulatory Unit at the Port of TEMA. Doc, also pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
I've hijacked you. I know that these things, I know your okay. So the thing that has assembled all of us here is the coronavirus, and we hear it everywhere now these days. It looks like every time you open your phone, there's a video or one video or the other running on the coronavirus. And I know, Doc, you have also been doing some sensitization around the port regarding this coronavirus.
That's right. Yeah.
But Dr. Bona, maybe I'll start with you and find out, what is this coronavirus at all? Where did they come from? We are sitting at small somewhere, chewing our normal meat, eating our normal food. They say coronavirus. Now, Doc says we shouldn't even shake hands again. We should do like this. But I told him that, no, Doc, I'll still shake your hands.
When did this theory come?
We don't even want to get near to our brothers anymore.
We want to read the sun's time.
So talk to us about where is this whole business coming from?
Basically, this coronavirus, we have it in the system.
Sorry, we have it in the system.
The system.
What do you mean system? Here?
Yeah, I mean, within the wildlife, than the domestic animals. But there are some that are more harmful. That is why it comes. So when it comes spillover is whereby it's able to infect human beings or humans through animals. That's called that spillover.
Okay.
That is,
So they exist in animals. That's what you're saying. Yes. They already exist in animals. But when the animal is able to transmit to a human being, then you say there is a spillover.
Yes.
I see.
And that's why it brings a lot of infection, bring a lot of death. Because some of them, they don't cause any death. They just
some of the coronavirus.
Yes, it's not all of them that are harmful.
I see.
Yes, it's not all of them that are harmful.
And living in animals.
Yes, basically.
Okay. But what sort of animals harbor these things? Is it every animal or?
We have it in pigs. We have in camel. We have it in bats. Basically, and most of all the wildlife animals. Now we saw it in the pangolin. Yeah. Which we have some even in Ghana here.
Pangolin.
Yes.
Okay, that animal that looks like crocodile, yes. The smaller version of crocodile.
Yes.
They call it aprawa in Chi.
Yes, yes. So
it's very sweet too. Very nice meat.
That is why always something sweet is something masculine.
There's always something dangerous attached to the sweet thing. Because aprawa is quite sweet.
Yes. In general, that is what always have summarized in that way.
Yeah.
Because we have in the system.
Okay.
And we have got something like merging and re-merging of diseases.
Okay.
Because there are certain diseases they are with us.
Okay.
But depends on the circumstances that they crop up.
Okay. But under what circumstance would you have that spillover from the animal no longer transmitting among the animals, but this time they can transmit to humans? What pushes that?
That one, they have got a lot of theories to talk about.
Okay.
A lot of theories. It could happen that the immune system of our body might get down. It could be other factors that can contribute to it. Okay. So these are the things that have to be looked at.
Okay.
Even the one we are talking about, the China issue. As of now, they have not been able to establish exactly which animal
brought it.
Despite that, they have got genetic resemblance in bats and pangolin, the same almost 90 to 100%. But the the species that is causing death to human beings, they are not able to establish it.
I see. But with the case of Ebola, we recall that they had mentioned that bats were moving them around.
Yes.
But this one, we can't say if it's the pangolin or the bats.
As of now, they are not able to establish it. Because at times, events happen, it takes time for them to establish.
Okay.
That's why at times you have a problem of diagnosing something. You need to take time. If you rush, you can make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because even in the news now, you might see some issue that they have found, vaccine for it. And later, the next moment, you will see it. So you have to take your time. That's why at times you need to establish it to get authentic this thing. That's why some of these labs, we have got certain specific labs that gives you concrete. Because when they give you that exact answer, it means it's authentic. Okay. So that's how I say establish which species normally give that deaths.
Wow. Yes. Scientists in China, wherever, they haven't been able to find this.
Oh, they are scientists, they are human beings. They need to do experiments, do it over. You don't want to backfire. Okay. You need to establish it properly.
Before the information comes out as concrete.
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why we are taking this very, very serious, I'm going to play a short video for you to listen why we have a port business and we are worried about this coronavirus, why we are dealing with shipping but we are worrying about this, why we are doing trade but we are worried about the coronavirus. Let's listen to this short video.
According to health experts, the coronavirus, which is also known as COVID-19, is a zoonotic disease, meaning the virus started from animals to animals transmission. Currently, the mode of transmission is from human to human. So far, the death toll from China's coronavirus epidemic jumped past 1,600 on Sunday, 16th February 2020, as the World Health Organization praised the country's efforts to contain the new disease, saying they have bought the world time and that other nations must make the most of it. France, meanwhile, reported Europe's first death from the infection, a Chinese tourist from Hubei province where the disease known as COVID-19 emerged in December. In Ghana, however, the Ghana Health Service has said a total of 13 suspected coronavirus cases in Ghana have all tested negative since the detection of the illness globally. Out of the 13 suspected cases, 3 were from the Kotoka International Airport and the remaining 10 cases were from people who reported to the hospital and were suspected of having the illness. Meanwhile, thousands of people have been stuck in their cabins under mandatory quarantine aboard the cruise ship Diamond Princess, which is docked off the Japanese port city of Yokohama since February 3rd, 2020. With 356 confirmed cases of coronavirus on board, 70 of which were announced Sunday, the ship has the largest concentration of novel coronavirus cases outside mainland China. On February 19th, the controversial quarantine period was set to finally end. Other countries have resorted to stop all high-speed trains and ferries as part of the preventive measures. Also, users of lifts have been advised to observe good hygienic practices, especially following a leaked video where some persons suspected to have the virus are seen spitting the virus on the lift buttons. At the port of TEMA, for instance, the Port Authority, in collaboration with Port Health, embarked on a sensitization program to educate staff as well as stakeholders on some preventive measures in order not to contract the coronavirus.
Okay, so that was an interesting piece. Doc, what do you make of that? We saw somebody spitting on the in the elevator, right, on those keys where people, he or she would definitely know that people would just come and press some of the...
Correct.
What do you make of that?
Thank you, Sammy. Well, that's human nature for you. She doesn't want to die alone, isn't it? Well, which is unfortunate. It shouldn't be like that. It's confirmed that this virus is transmitted through saliva, even your tears as well.
I see.
Through your nasal discharge and all that, isn't it? So she knowing very well that the virus is in her saliva, she wants to infect other people, which is not human. I mean, it's not a good thing to do. It means you deliberately want other people to catch the virus, just as she has got it. And I think that, I don't know what would have motivated her to do that. It could be desperation. It could be just sheer wickedness. So we can't know. But anything, when things like this happen, a lot of things happen. When things of this nature, you know that this is a whole scary whole thing. It's an infectious disease. That is established. It's an infectious disease. It's new in the world, and there are still a lot of things that we don't know about it. Of course. Every day something new is coming, and new information. The WHO is giving us new information, update every time. Even I think the WHO has now sent a lot of experts to China to help the Chinese authorities to look at it and see what exactly is the epidemiology of this virus. Just as my colleague, the vet doctor, said earlier on, yes, it's a kind of virus, coronavirus, which is already, it's a family of viruses, we know that. But the particular species or the particular strain of virus, we are yet to actually identify exactly. All that we know is that all the people who get down with the disease and who eventually die, they have similar symptoms, and the virus is traced, as the culprit for their deaths, okay? Once it's a new virus and there's so little we know about it yet, we can only hope and trust that science and medicine, for that matter, will come up quickly to tell us more about the virus. But it's been established, the route of transmission of the virus, that we know. If it started as a zoonotic infection from animals to human beings, now it's from what? Human to human. So it means that it has crossed a species, isn't it? So mutation is one of the major causes of this. The virus constantly, in an attempt to survive, will mutate, to change its structure so that it can infect different people or different organisms. If it started in bat, as some of the theorists are saying, bat we know is a mammal. Then it went to snakes, which is a reptile. Now it's in human beings, pangolin. So you see that it has crossed all the kind of species, mammals, reptiles, probably even birds. We don't know yet. So a lot is going on, and so we can only hope that science will help us quickly to establish some of the things. But having said that, we will know that this woman who we saw in the video spitting, the virus is concentrated in your saliva. It's in the nasopharynx, meaning through your nostrils, your pharynx, that's your throat. It's also found in your tears. So some of these things, if you're exposed to them, when people come into the lift, they definitely will press the button. It means that they will be having their bare hands, and they'll be contaminating themselves. But the worst thing is that most of the time we know that our hands, our fingers will find themselves on our faces. And the fingers are the dirtiest part of the body. The fingers, our fingers are the dirtiest part of the body, because we touch everything and anything with our hands. So if you touch the knob of the lift, obviously infected with the saliva of that patient, you are picking up the virus on your hand, and then in no time you find your hands on your face. And that will introduce, either inject it into your eyes or your nostrils or even your mouth, and then it goes from there. So eventually, I think what she's trying to tell us is that she's showing the wicked way of how people can easily spread this disease. Meaning that if somebody is frustrated and wants to spread it, we know that in HIV, some people, I'm infected with HIV, so I'll go and sleep with people without protection, isn't it? And spread the virus. She's doing exactly that. She's doing exactly.
I think she's also teaching us that then we should also be mindful and begin to look around and see how best we can also stay away from possibly getting in contact with things like that. So we'll come to you on some of the remedies. So we would want to find out whether there should be sanitizers and wipes in elevators and things like that. But Dave, you know the particular place where we are hearing all these noise from, the corona noise coming from China. They say Wuhan or something. Do you know that? I know you travel a lot around China.
Yes. Before I proceed, let me say Wuhan, Chayo. Wuhan, Chayo. Wuhan, Chayo. Yes.
Teach us some so that we can also go along.
The meaning is just we are behind you. Yes. So we just want to pledge our support, that we are behind them, we are praying for them. We put ourselves in their situation. Yes, the Hubei province is one of the finest in China, and I was a little bit taken aback when I heard of this virus. And one funny thing that happened, a friend of mine came from China to spend the holidays here, the Christmas holidays. normally after we are done with our Christmas, then they will go on their New Year. So when he came and my people, my family members heard of this virus that is going on, say, hey,
don't bring your friend to the house.
I will say, but God being so good,
he's fine.
Yes, he's fine. He's fine. He spent more than almost 2 months now. And everything is fine.
How much commercial activities go on around that place? The
Hubei province is like that of Guangdong, where Guangzhou is.
Okay.
You see, Guangzhou is like, let's say, Lagos.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Commercial capital.
Exactly. When you go to China, every province are specialized in one commodity or the other. So, like, if you want anything leather, you go to Wenzhou.
Okay.
If you like anything like building material, you go to Foshan.
I see.
Like electronics, you go to Shenzhen. Machinery, you go to Shanghai. But the Beijing is the administration where the administration goes on. So Hubei province is that of Guangzhou, the Guangdong province, and there are a lot of activities that goes in there.
I see.
There are a lot. So you could see a lot of nationals trying to evacuate their people. One will ask himself, why you see Americans want to evacuate Japanese? That tells you the number of activity that goes in there. So it's that of like Guangzhou.
Okay. And you have some of your members here in Ghana doing a lot of trade from there, right?
Sure. But most members, let's say they will be in the minute.
Okay.
Exactly, because if you see people or get the people that goes to China or that apply their trade in China, about 60% go to Guangzhou.
Okay.
And about 35% will go to EU. Then the rest will go
spread around.
Exactly. So we just Ghanaians, we thank God that it did not happen in the Guangdong province where Guangzhou is, because a lot of Ghanaians ply their trade there.
Okay.
Because the Guangdong province, like the Guangzhou and Foshan.
Okay.
Because a lot of people do that business, the building materials, the furniture, that stuff.
Okay. But that notwithstanding, the difficulty has also emerged that it's not just the one who place, the Hubei province. It's also gone to other areas within China. Now, last time I listened to the news, and it was about 8 countries, 8 cities that had been, yes, 8 cities that had been more or less quarantined, that nobody can go in and come out of it. How is that affecting your trading activities? Are you still going to China though? No. Are your people still going to China?
You see, before the outbreak, you see, normally after our Christmas, a lot of businessmen rush to China to catch up, because they will be going right after our Christmas holidays. So you catch up, you go, you do some mop-up for Easter. So a lot of people went around 24th, 25th December and came back early January.
Oh, okay.
So
before the Chinese holiday.
Before the Chinese holiday. But now I think our members have heeded to our advice. Okay. That even businessmen, we hardly take on leave.
Yeah.
So we should use this time
to rest.
Because we have to use our money to buy our life, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So we issue a statement, and our president also talk a lot about it, and God being so good, our people heeded to our advice, and we are just marking time just to hear or to get the green light before we move. Because the people there, those that we are going to buy from them, they've closed their shops. Correct. Some have moved to their villages. One of my my suppliers, he sent me a video. He was in his farm. He said, David, no, we can't come. Now the government says 1st March, they will give us the green light that we have to come. And even that, if we come, the workers are expected to come around 15th. So everybody has to, you have to relax. You have to relax, because the person that you are going to even buy from, the person have moved. the shops are closed, the factories are not working. And when you see their streets, it's
empty.
Very, very empty.
Now, I'm asking you all of these from where you sit also. So somebody who will be monitoring statistics and numbers within the port industry, for instance, would want to see if there would be any effect on this, your temporary leave you have taken from China, on the cargo throughput, for instance, the amount of or the volumes of cargo that will be coming in within this period. Do you reckon that it's likely to go down, considering this kind of leave and the fact that you do a lot of activities in China, yet you have taken this leave within this period?
Sure, that one I can say that without any shadow of doubt, that we will see cargoes going down.
Okay.
Yes, and Sam, before I come there, you see, GUTA always, you've been saying something. But you see, our leaders sometimes don't take us serious. They don't even take it that what we are saying is the truth.
What have you been saying?
Ask yourself, why is the dollar going down?
The dollar going down means what? The value of the dollar is depreciating.
The
value of the cedi depreciating against the dollar. Okay.
Because you see, cast your mind back. The past 10 years, previously, the period that the dollar used to go up was August, September, October, because those were the times that every serious businessman will be doing the Christmas boost.
Yeah.
But with the infiltration of the Chinese, immediately after Christmas, then the dollar began to go up. But now, it is coming down.
That's an interesting observation.
Yes. So we always tell them, you see, the Chinese doesn't respect the business chain. What is the business chain? From the manufacturer to the wholesaler, to the retailer, then to the final consumer. So when they come, they want to eliminate you, the retailer, because their partners, they are the manufacturers. So when they come, they are the wholesalers. But they will come and eliminate the retailers that the law of GIPC or GIPC law says that we, the citizens, should do the retailing. They want to take you out. Then they will trade direct to the final consumer. That is the main reason why any rate that you say or you mention to the Chinese, they are prepared to change. And they hardly bank. The Chinese, they hardly bank.
Carry physical cash.
You see, so let's not any politician take credit that maybe it's because of some policies that is why the dollar is coming down. It's because of what GUTA has been telling them. They are not minding us or not taking us serious. Now, somebody should come and tell me the reason why this Christmas or this year the dollar is coming down.
So you are saying that because your folks are not going to China within this quarter, this period that we have
not
seen.
Not our folks,
the Chinese.
but the Chinese. Because now they are here.
Yeah.
They were ready, they were getting ready to go. And I don't know if it is the hand of God or the hand of
No, it can't be the hand of God for the disease to come. But you see, so because they haven't been able to move back to their countries and they are still staying around, the money is still within the space here, and that's why you feel that the dollar is a bit stabilized. It's an interesting observation from your corner. But your folks are also part of the FX committee.
Yes, we are part.
So these observations you can share.
Yes, that is what always I say. You see, when you want to implement a law, those people that the law will be centered around, just engage them.
Okay.
You see, Ghanaians, we should learn. God created all of us in his image. Yes, you are my big brothers here or my fathers. Yes, they are doctors from Mokola. And it's a privilege for me to be sitting down and even talking to them. But the main thing that I want to say is,
you need to listen to others and opinion.
Listen to the people.
Professionals.
It doesn't matter you not taking them. You just listen.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do, just call them. Listen to their input, and you will see.
It may make a difference. A lot of.
You see, the kind of economies that goes down in Mokola, or Market Circle in Takrady, or KGTR or Swami.
That's the micro.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not in the books.
Exactly. So let our leaders,
But it's practical.
yes, let them listen to us. When we tell them something, they shouldn't take it hook, line, and sinker. They should sit down, analyze it, and see. And see.
Let me find out. In all of these, have you guys thought of doing a lot of online trading? Because if a disease in your origin of trading can let you take voluntary leave like that, have you considered doing a lot of online trading so that some of these your goods you can just pay for them, transact, and then they come back to you some way somehow?
So you have asked one of the intelligent questions, but listen.
My producer asked you that question.
Who's that?
Yes, Solomon Anderson. So Solomon, you've asked the intelligent.
No wonder. Once his name is Solomon. You see, I would advise everybody not to gamble with his hard-won currency.
Thank you.
Never do online business with the Chinese company.
I see. This is a
even
big one.
even if when you are there, even in your presence,
They're suing the
online, maybe unless you get the money through charity. But if you go in for bank loan or through your struggle, please don't do that.
Regardless of all cautions that you take.
No, because listen, by God's grace, last 2 years I led a delegation of 21 member businessmen and women to Birmingham Chamber of Commerce, and there we discovered that sometimes what we've been hearing are not all that true. We went to UK, and one woman among us bought 3 containers of cables. The difference are just it's marginal. But when we are here, we think goods from Europe, goods from UK are expensive. My brother and my sister, my businessmen and women, don't try anything online.
Okay.
With Chinese.
I see.
We've been there. I did some diapers in 2011. I was there when they were loading.
You were in the country? In China?
In that country. I was there. When I go, I make sure I load my container, seal it before I come. When I came back, 35% of the product was fake.
I see.
I'm telling you, I threw them away.
I see.
So now they
make of doing it online.
Yes, they imagine now Turkey is coming up, and our members, a lot of them also go to Turkey, India, UK. Let's try. Don't gamble with your money.
Okay.
Yes.
Doc, the bit about the entire shipping industry.
Yeah.
Now, cruise line, we've heard about the trade itself, the physical trade, which David and Co. also engage in. But even cruise lines are getting problems.
Correct.
There's a cruise vessel now that's been quarantined around Yokohama, around Japan there. Now, let me just let you see that story quickly. And then we will talk about why this is important to shipping and the port in particular. So let's listen.
The latest update from the Japanese Ministry of Health shows that some 135 people traveling on board Diamond Princess cruise ship have been infected with the novel coronavirus. The ministry is continuing to conduct medical screening of the crew and personnel on board the ship quarantined in Yokohama, Japan until at least February 19. According to the ministry, positive results were confirmed in 135 of the 439 patients tested on February 10th. The update comes just a day after 66 new cases were recorded on board the cruise ship.
Look, this would definitely affect cruise shipping.
Certainly.
Because people who are interested in traveling and enjoying their cruise and all of that now will be scared.
They'll be scared to death. They'll be scared to death, and rightly so.
You've been sensitizing the entire port. I saw you and Mr. Mafo go in almost every department and talking to stakeholders, customs and everyone.
Yes.
What are we to look out for? What should we be doing?
Okay. Thank you very much, Sammy. Thank God the cruise ship business in Ghana is not rife. It's not as in other countries.
Even though we are aiming to get it, yeah.
You know, we are building MPS shrine, and then even Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is trying to create a marina for cruise vessels, isn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten there yet. But it's good we haven't gotten it now. Because imagine Japan, which is a first-class country. They have everything they need and it takes to control diseases, and yet a ship of that nature carrying over, I think, over 3,500, 3,600,
4,000
something people, and they've got 135 cases on board, confirmed. And we all know that it is the only place outside of mainland China, the Hubei province, where the virus is taking its toll. They have the highest concentration of patients in one place, which is the vessel. So for us, as a port, TEMA port, yes, cruise vessels can come, naval vessels come, the cargo vessels are the majority we deal with. Just like my brother from GUTA alluded to, they do a lot of business with China and other Far East countries. The issue is that it's not just about China. The world is such a global village that people fly from different places in the world to join ships or vessels en route. So you can have a vessel that is coming from Germany or somewhere, and meanwhile, the crew members have flown from China to come and join the vessel somewhere along the line, and then they come into your port. So we have to be very vigilant. We who have been given the mandate to take care of the port, we know that the port is an entry point to this country. It's a border, and as every border does, people and goods and services go through the border. We know that TEMA Seaport takes care of about 85% of economic trade in this country.
Yeah.
A member as a staff of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is of concern to me.
Yeah.
And for that matter, the board of directors and the director general and top management, they were alarmed when we started talking about this disease. You just mentioned, or the GUTA man just mentioned, how cargo volumes have dropped. Invariably, that will affect us. Because if you don't get the cargo volumes, we'll not be able to get our port dues.
Yeah. He said that they are not bringing in, so
yes,
it's likely that would affect the cargo volumes.
Yeah. So, and also the fact that fewer vessels will call at our port, that alone is also another factor. So for us, it's very critical.
Do you think it's possible that fewer vessels will call because
it's possible? It's possible.
So vessels that are supposed to come from, say, China and those places?
Perfectly. It's possible because, like you rightly said, some factories have shut down.
Yeah.
So if the factories have shut down, where are the goods going to come from?
Yeah.
Okay? Even we've heard on the news that a very big port in China has shut down. It's not working.
Yeah.
Because of the virus. You know that. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
So if we are expecting vessels from these places and they are shutting down,
the ports are shutting down, likely we will have a reduced.
We want to pray that we don't get there. We might not be feeling the pinch now, maybe later, but we just pray it doesn't happen. So we, as a port, saw it necessary. We shouldn't have to wait to get a case coming through our port, and then TEMA port will be labeled as the point of entry of coronavirus into Ghana. That would be a disaster for us.
Yeah.
If Japan can quarantine a whole cruise vessel for 19 days, 14 days, you can imagine. We don't want to get, we cannot contain it. We may not be able to contain it. Your guess is as good as mine. So we started, when we heard about this, I remember very well, I called you and said, look, Sammy, we've got something big on our hands. We need to do something immediately. So you quickly responded, and I was happy the way you responded promptly. And we started this sensitization. Once it's a new disease, an emerging disease, but what is established is that it's an infectious disease. Infectious disease, for that matter, a virus, for that matter, is very difficult to control. And we know the history of this virus in China, where it started, they said, from history, it started the middle of December. They were trying to contain it themselves. It got out of hand. By the end of December, precisely 31st December 2019, they had no choice than to inform the World Health Organization, WHO, because they couldn't contain it anymore. And I think that the cases we're saying, we know the cases that currently over 68,000, almost 70,000 reported cases worldwide, majority in China. And over how many deaths? They said in your video.
About 1,600.
1,660 something. Yeah, in 1,600 alone in China. That is a lot. It has killed more than the SARS virus, because the SARS and this coronavirus are in the same family. They are close cousins. They are close cousins.
I see.
Initially, the infectivity rate of this coronavirus, it showed that it was higher than that of SARS, but the death rate for SARS was higher. That's from the beginning. But now things have changed. That the infectivity rate is still higher, and then the death rate for this coronavirus is higher than SARS. In other words, coronavirus has killed more people than SARS did when it came in 2003.
What about Ebola?
This is of concern. Ebola is in a different category.
Okay.
That's an hemorrhagic virus. That's a different category of virus. But coronavirus and SARS is the same family.
Okay.
So now that we are still trying to get more and more information about the virus, we have to take all the necessary precautions. It's basic epidemiology, basic disease control, basic disease surveillance. It's basic. These are things, universal precaution you need to take. And so together with you, I on Port, and then Port Health, which is an agency of the Ghana Health Service, we straight away embarked on this sensitization program in the port. Our first point of call, our first target group was a fishing harbor.
Yeah.
It wasn't by mistake. It was based with sound knowledge and evidence that these are fishermen from the Kanoon Basin who go to high seas with their fishing boats to meet other fishermen who come from all over the world, including China. They meet them there. They are having fish trawlers. They go on board these vessels, get fish, load their canoes, and come back. Some of them, of course, they also get direct from the sea, but they definitely get some fish from these fish trawlers. They trade. So they take this fish, and they come to our Kanoon Basin quietly. But if somebody from China had a disease on board a fish trawler in high seas or on the high seas, what happens? Our local fishermen have gone on board, have personal contact or close contact with those people. Bring it back quietly, and they don't know. You can't blame them. So the first thing you have to do in cases like this of infectious disease of such proportions is what? Information. Awareness creation. You need to create awareness. You need to let people know that this is a new disease. This is how it presents itself. This is how it is transmitted.
Okay.
So we targeted the Kanoon people, the ways, to let them know that this is what we're having. So they should be cautious. So when they go on their fishing expedition, they shouldn't go in close contact with people, strangers, or people they don't know where they're coming from. They can still get their fish all right. Now we also know that this virus is spread, as the veterinary doctor will confirm that. It's on surfaces, right? It survives on surfaces. So if you say that, okay, we're talking about a meat market where it started in Wuhan, in the meat market and all that, we don't know about fish. Whether frozen fish will carry it or not, we don't know. Yeah. But the problem is that we'll come to that with him. So we have to take all the necessary precautions. So we give them that whole information so that they would protect themselves and their families. Okay. Because that is how they make a living.
Okay.
Now coming to that, you know very well that Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is closely in contact with this Kanoon Basin people. These fisher folks are because actually we are one and the same people.
Yeah.
So if we are dealing with bigger vessels that are coming, fish trawlers also come, they call at our fishing harbor. They come, they dock there, they offload their produce, which is fish.
Yeah.
So we needed to quickly do that. So we started with the fishing harbor and we went around the rest of the authority. Yeah. Every single department is involved.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you details later as we go.
Okay. So and you were lucky. The other thing I would love to know from you is the sort of response we are getting nationally everywhere. Yeah. And after talking to Dr. Bona, I'll come back to you because you were lucky. As soon as, for instance, you communicated to my bosses, the GM Marketing Corporate Affairs, the Director General himself, you had a quick positive response to support and go ahead and do all of that. But whether we are seeing that across the entire country and from other places is what I would love to hear from you. But Dr. Bona, animal products that are coming into this country, to what extent are we monitoring them? Not just animal product, animals and animal product. Correct. Are we getting some animals? Of course we do get some of these pets from time to time. Who is monitoring that? And also the animal products, chicken and things like that. How are we monitoring all these things?
Well, thank you for giving the opportunity. At the moment, at the TEMA port, veterinary is not in charge of products of animal origin at the moment.
No, I don't get it.
You don't get it.
Veterinary is not in charge. But are you present?
We are present over there.
But you're not in charge.
Yes.
Who is in charge?
Food and Drugs
Food and
Food and Drugs Authority are in charge of animals and animal products.
But the issue is, before you import any products of animal origin and byproducts, you need to get import permit from veterinary service. That's MUFA. And the reason why we need the import permit is that, one, is to protect the consumer, and at the same time to prevent transmission of transborder animal disease.
Okay.
Yes, that is why you need the import permit. And before even the import permit is issued to you, we do a lot of things, risk assessments and other things. And the reason is that you don't easily give you the import permit. You have to know the disease situation of that particular place you are getting your products from.
Okay.
And the product should come with veterinary health certificate
from that
particular country of origin, indicating the wholesomeness of the meat. Despite import permit being issued to the importer, it can be blocked in the sense that look at what is happening in China. If you have imported some products from China and something happened this way, it can be blocked. Ghana is part of the OIE. And the OIE in Ghana is being represented by Veterinary Health Department and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Okay.
We had not been this slip over. Animal diseases are always linked to the CVO of veterinary services.
No, what is CVO?
Chief Veterinary Officer,
or
the Director of Veterinary Services.
Okay.
But we use the word CVO internationally. So when there's a problem in a particular country, the alertness is sent to the CVO for him to alert all his lieutenants at the various borders. There's already Tamaport. You are going to have other borders, Aflawo, Elebu, for them to know Takoradi and those things. It happens in that way. So when he gets that information, then he informs his lieutenants about what is happening. So when you are even giving the import permit and something happens, you can block it. They won't allow you to bring the items inside. That is the essence of the import permit giving.
Okay. From the veterinary?
Yes.
Okay.
Through the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Okay. Are you still giving these import permits?
They give import permits. Supposed to be done because internationally that's what is done.
Okay.
Because you are part, if you look at OIE Section 5, it talks about the authenticity of veterinary taking over meat inspection. When you use the word products of animal origin, it includes fresh and frozen meat. It doesn't mean live animals.
Yeah.
Because the word you use...
Animals and animal products.
Yes, animal products. But when you use it, animal products, I assume that fresh meat are not part of it.
It's animal products.
No, it's interpreted in that way.
I see.
That's the whole issue. But these things are supposed to be handled by a veterinary service department. It's under OIE, and you are part of the WTO.
So at the moment that you are not in charge, how does that affect, positively or negatively, the inspection of animal and animal products at the port?
Well, you can assess it yourself. You don't expect me to talk.
Are you able to still give your inspection from wherever you are seated?
You can't do it, but because inspection you need to get to the product, and we not being part of the GIMIS.
GIMIS means the Joint Information Management System.
If you're not part of it, and you know the port, it's like your home. You know it. It's as huge as that, and they are dealing with a specific container in a particular place, and you are not informed. How do you know there's a inspection going on?
So what you're saying is that at the moment, veterinary is not part of the inspection. So if there are some diseases affecting any animal or animal products that have been imported into this good country of ours, we wouldn't know because you are the one to inspect and be able to tell. And I'm sure that you've got the facilities to do that. But you're saying that you don't do this. But that's dangerous for us as a country.
As of now.
But that's dangerous, Doc, for all of us.
Well, that's the reality.
So, are we getting animal products from China now?
From my statistics, I can't recollect it because it doesn't pass through me.
Wow.
It doesn't pass through me. But I know they get this dog food from China.
Interesting.
Dog feed from China. A lot of them from China.
And you can't tell whether it's coming or not.
Yes, that's what I can.
But you're in charge of the vet at the port.
That's now the.
And you're saying that you've been put aside, that you can't inspect that. So we're all at risk because you are not where you are supposed to be.
That's the fact.
Wow.
It's a simple fact.
So it's possible that I may have eaten food, some frozen food coming from
Well,
China.
I'm not here to
because you haven't inspected it.
Yes.
Because you haven't inspected it.
The thing is, the reason why veterinary we don't come out to talk a lot is that.
But you should come out. Our lives are in your hands.
The reason why we don't come to because we fall under national security. Because
national security.
Yes, it's a security thing. Because the moment we come out to say that A and B, it puts fear and panic in the system.
But if there is a gap, you need to alert, isn't it?
Yes.
If there's a gap.
When the need arises. Yeah. Because basically, when there's an outbreak of disease in a particular farm, maybe in this country, before you hear, we have done our thing already. Because the moment we see it, we deal with it, we go there at once, we deal with it, and that is all. Before even we come out. Because we delay, the reason why we delay in making that pronouncement is we normally send those things outside for confirmation. Because of the OIE. Because OIE, you can't just sit here and confirm you are this. We have got referral labs. And some of these things we deal with Neguchi. So that we get those things confirmed before we come out. That is why at times we delay. But before the results come out, we have done our own analysis here to make it cool so we don't come out with those things before. So that's the issue.
No, because it really, really surprises me that looking at the huge and important role that you play and which you are describing to us. I mean, all of us, our lives are in your hands for the job that you're supposed to do. But if there's this huge gap because you are not allowed to sit where you are supposed to sit, and so we are all at risk, then that's dangerous. But let me ask you, Dave, though, do you know if some of your people are bringing in, some way, somehow, still bringing in some animal foods from China? Or any Far East, anywhere around?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Now, those that I know are those who are doing them from the European countries.
Okay.
And maybe Canada.
Okay.
Yes.
But aren't there goods? Is it not also possible that there could be some goods that may have been imported earlier before we heard this whole noise, and they are now arriving?
And if we listen to what my big brother said, I think we are in danger. And I wanted to even ask him whether maybe they have some vet doctors maybe serving on a committee at FDA.
Do you
see? Maybe they already there. Maybe.
Please. I'm not in that department. I wouldn't be in the position to
okay.
Yes or no. I need to be a bit realistic.
Sure.
Because as we are speaking, it's getting everywhere.
Yes.
So I have to be circumspect in all the things I talk about.
That's right. Of course.
If they have it or not, I might not know. Because there are SOPs in operating these things. In terms of even issuing a veterinary health certificate, the person should be a government paid officer. So even if I, being a vet officer working with the metro department here, and there's an issue connected with veterinary, I can't issue that thing.
Okay.
For example, our vets in the private sector, when they want to export items, they can't sign. They send it to our department to do it. Because they send it to our department for our CBO or the directorate to sign. The reason is that under the WHO, under WAHIS and those things, they made it in such a way that only the government workers are supposed to authenticate the documents going out.
At the moment,
for good reasons.
Yeah.
They know why, because it has been started so many years ago. So they know the reason why they've made it that way.
Okay. And at the moment, those who authenticate and issue these inspection certifications and whatever it is, are they under government supervision? Are they government officers?
Which ones? The ones
currently.
The private people. Oh yeah, yes. They are the government. They send their documents to our head office.
Okay, before
they are be allowed to send those things outside, because they would never, any product leaving this country without veterinary certificate, health certificate, no country will allow things to enter.
You see, I think there's a need to get a lot of understanding when it comes to these operations, as well as whoever is in charge of monitoring and inspecting these things. And probably we may need to find other times to get a lot more understanding, because the little I'm hearing from you is quite scary. It's quite scary because if we don't have you that we all think that, oh, once you are there, you are inspecting and you are given the right to go ahead before things get in. And there's a gap which is not helping for that to take place, and that's worrying. Now that we're having diseases coming into the system that are coming from animal and animal products, now it's even more needed than ever.
Yes, to add something, we have got from here, maybe we can find time and get to our lab. We have got one of the sophisticated labs, and some of them are referred for West Africa. The fish, we have got a fish lab. We have got AMR lab. Apart from that, we have got this coronavirus we are talking about. Only the primer, if you get the primer, we can do all these things. We have got.
You'll be able to check all of that.
Yes, they are there.
Even in fish.
In fish, we have got a lab there.
Because when Doc talked about fishing harbor and all of that, one of the things that was running through my mind is, if we import fish, how are we able to
there are those who are handling the fish industry. We have got the vet doctors over there, Shandorf and Zida. Okay. They are there, they are in charge.
And things are running well.
Yeah, they are in charge over there.
So your lab is able to take care of,
basically all these things. Because veterinary labs are meant for products of animal origin.
Okay.
Because how do we be able to differentiate between cow milk, goat milk, sheep milk? These are the things we do. There are certain things we do collaboration with other things. For example, when you are supposed to assess honey, honey should be, when you are sending honey as it's supposed to be certified by a vet.
Animal product.
Yes, honey is an animal product.
Yes.
Bees, insects. Maybe there's certain aspects we collaborate with the standard people where they give you the metallic aspects of it.
Okay.
So that's what we call collaboration. It's not a total brush out of an institution mandated to do specific job.
Okay. I'm going to go for a quick break. Then when we come back, I'll take a lot from trade as well, and then come back to Doc. In the meantime, you can join this conversation if you want to ask questions about coronavirus. You also have goods coming into the country. You want to know how secure those goods are and everything. You can join the conversation. The number you can WhatsApp us on is 055-901-9177. 055-901-9177. And then the phone number that you can call is 020-5528-353. 020-552-8353 is the number you can call. We're also streaming live on Facebook, so you can share your comments over there, and we'll definitely share them with the rest of the world. We'll be right back.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect, and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water. Or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome back from the break. Still watching Eye on Port, and we are discussing coronavirus, a global threat to trade and shipping, the impact, also the interventions and remedies so far. My guest in the studio, Dr. Vitus Anabis, General Manager, Health Services, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, David Amoating, David Kwejo Amoating, Greater Accra Regional Chairman of Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, and Dr. Stephen Bona is the Head of Veterinary Regulatory Unit, Port of TEMA. Dr. Bona, I know you have George B in the middle of your distance somewhere. Stephen George Bona.
The name number one, George Douglas Agreement.
Wow. Hey. That's painful.
My name, they gave George to me, and the second one was given to my junior brother, Douglas.
Okay. Interesting.
But our children, they don't bear those Christians.
I see. Dr. Now,
yes.
And again, let me also announce again, folks, that you can join the conversation. You have any question around your goods, around coming into the country, you want to know a lot about the coronavirus, what to do and what not to do, 05590191177, 05590191177 is a WhatsApp number you can text on. 020-552-8353, you can call us. 020-552-8353, you can call us. The numbers are on your screen. We are streaming live on Facebook, Eye on Port, Ghana. You can also be watching us if you have to step out of your room or wherever you have your TV set. You can still watch us on Facebook and send your messages. Serene Insurance is part of this program. They are sponsor, Goyle Company Limited as well. Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, West Blue Consulting, and Ghana Community Network Services. The Diamond vessel, the cruise vessel that's been quarantined, Diamond Princess, that's been quarantined in Yokohama.
Right.
I know, reliably informed, that it was actually rejected by a number of ports.
Correct.
It means that quite a number of ports didn't even want to accept it. Are we looking at, and then Japan accepted, and now they have to quarantine it.
Yeah.
Maybe they have the facility to do that.
Yeah.
But in times like this, what are our options as a country with ports? If there's a vessel that is coming from China, for instance, you are not sure of it. If there's a vessel that is coming from somewhere, you are not sure of it, but it's carrying the goods of your citizens, what do? Reject or keep in quarantine?
So, I mean, that's a loaded question. But, well, we work in the port. We do a lot of things. Unlike the airport, where they do a lot of passengers, more passenger throughput, they have more passengers, human beings coming through. We have more cargo coming through. If one shipload comes, it's a lot. Even let's take even the car carriers. These rural ships who carry cars. There's so many cars that come on board a vessel. And it's our drivers who have to go on board to bring down these vessels, these cars. So what exactly goes on the port, if I may take the opportunity to just describe what goes on the port. If a vessel comes, before the vessel comes, normally, definitely, they give information to our signal unit, which is part of the marine operations. They receive messages from the ship, from the captain of the ship, when the ship is supposed to arrive. That's the expected time of arrival, ETA they call it. Then they will go through a certain questionnaire, who is on board the vessel, the crew members, and even what kind of cargo they are carrying. Are they carrying dangerous cargo or not? If there's dangerous cargo on board, there are specific regulations how to handle the dangerous cargo. Now, when they go through this, one of the key things that they need to do is they talk about the health of the crew members. Every crew member, the captain of the ship is supposed to give the health status of every single crew member. And that is where port health comes in. Okay. We, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, I am with the Health Services Department, but port health, they have their primary mandate to declare every vessel that comes into port safe before anybody can board to work on it. Okay. I think the original thing was that they were supposed to board the vessel at Anchorage. The port health people were supposed to board it at Anchorage to declare it safe health-wise, do all the necessary inspection before they allow our pilots
to go and
bring the vessel in. Okay. The pilots are our marine operations officers who bring in the ships. Unlike air pilots, captains, they will fly and come and land at our airport. Yeah. But for vessels, for ships, for that matter, our people, the port operations people called pilots, they will meet the ship. They will go in their pilots and go and pilot and bring it in. They will take over the whole vessel and bring it in. Yeah. So it means that, as we said, our staff, who are the pilots, are the first to go on board the vessel. No more port health people. Because they don't go. There is our pilots that will bring the ships to dock. Only then that the port health people go on board. It should have been the reverse.
But when our pilots go to that vessel,
correct,
do they board, or they only go and pilot their vessel back into the port?
No, they board before they can pilot. They get on board.
Okay, they go and pilot the main vessel.
Yes.
Okay.
They use the monkey ladder, go on board, and then take over, and then bring in the vessel to port.
Okay. So by then, our pilot would have already been in that vessel.
Exactly. And that's where I'm coming from. And so because of that, our pilots are at high risk.
Yeah.
So if we don't really take enough history, medical history or health history of all the crew members, it means that we'll be exposing our pilots.
Yeah.
And so our pilots will go, and if they are not properly protected, they don't clothe properly, then they will be the first to contract the illness
and bring it down.
And they will bring it right to where? Into our port directly.
Yeah.
The staff there, when the pilot comes and they have the mooring men are there, and all the people on board the tugboats, they work on it before they will secure the vessel in the port.
It's a very good point you've made.
Stevedores and other people, even for GRA people, for all the security people even to go on board, even before even port health people. But if port health people do not declare vessels safe, health-wise, nobody has the right to board. So if you see the yellow flag, that every ship will fly a yellow flag until the port health people will go on board and declare it safe before they lower down that flag. And then they have the free pratique, as how they call it, to say that, okay, this vessel is not carrying any infectious goods, or it's not carrying any infectious disease, any of the crew members are not having any sickness.
So it's good to come in.
It's good to come in. But unfortunately, what happened when the
our pilot would have been at risk.
Yeah, our pilot would have been at risk. And then also, when they even do that, people are always in a hurry. Ghanaians, as we are, we always want to do things in a hurry. But because of something knock of you that people think they will go on board and get from the captains, when the vessel docks, they won't wait for the Port health people declare safe, you see the stevedore company, the shipping agents rushing to go on board first. Even sometimes the GRA people themselves, they go on board first.
Why should that be?
It shouldn't be
I
so.
thought there should be enough gating system that would prevent that from happening until Port Health would have gone in.
Exactly, but it is there, but the question is, are they following it? Are we following the regulation?
We'll come back to that shortly, but Kakraba is calling us from Accra, and he's been on the line. Hello, Kakraba.
Hello.
Yes.
My question is a very straightforward question.
Okay.
It appears that veterinary services are not being allowed to carry out their inspectorate duties properly. Why is it that in the last recent importation of gizzard into the country, about 3 containers full of gizzard is infected with salmonella bacteria, and veterinary services were not asked to inspect, do any test, and it has been released to the food chain? Why is FDA trying to take over veterinary services job?
Okay, so that's your question, right?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, thank you, Kakraba. So we'd have Doug get a response on that. These 3 containers, as a matter of fact, they were supposed to be destroyed on Friday, and that didn't happen. The destruction will come off tomorrow. That's Monday, I think. And we'll bring it up next week, God willing, on this platform, and we'll talk about the nitty-gritties of it, the destruction of it, and how we get rid of some of those products as well. But he will still have a bite on veterinary services not being allowed to operate properly, efficiently within the port space there, see into some of these things that are happening. Okay, so Doctor,
yes,
the bit about our pilots going on board first before the Port Health folks,
correct,
how can that be done? Is it about time that we let Port Health go with the pilot to Anchorage, board first, inspect, come declare the place safe before our pilots get on? Because Port Health are clothed with the right or the requisite kits that keeps, or they are supposed to be, actually.
Supposed to be.
They are supposed to be, well armed and all of that. Isn't that the case?
Yeah, thank you, Sammy. They're supposed to be, but are they? Your guess as good as mine.
They are not.
They are not. I don't think they are poorly resourced.
I see.
And the question is that they
Poorly
said in the
resourced.
past they had their own boats where they will use to go to the Anchorage and then go on board and then do their job. Now they don't have a single boat, they say, and so even they say they no more train them to even to swim. So if a port health official risks his life to go on board a vessel at high seas or at the Anchorage and then falls into the sea and you cannot swim, then it's between you and your God. So that's why they also take a precaution and wait for the vessel to be brought. But we as port operator, as GPHA Port Authority, obviously that's our main job, to bring in the vessels. But then the port health should declare safe first. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a situation where we have to get our pilots to bring it in before the port health can do their job. It should have been the other way. So because of that, we are making sure that we have to create that awareness to our port operation staff. We are training them. We are going to be training them. You know that there are plans that the Director General we are going to roll out. They have voted an emergency budget from Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority. They've given an emergency budget for us to purchase protective clothing, PPEs, and other necessary things that we will need to arm ourselves with to be able to do that. So by the basic and first thing we have to do is to create this awareness. And that's why we went on the roadshow with you, and we did all the sensitization across the whole port, involving every single department of Port and Harbours Authority. No department was left out. We didn't do only for Port Authority staff, we did it for other port users. The security agencies were involved. I think even GUTA members, shipping agents, clearing agents, and all
the
other
stakeholders.
All stakeholders were involved, and even food market.
The fisheries.
Yes, and all that.
Doc, let me pick Bernard from Sunyani, and then I'll come back to something else that I'm interested in from the pilot bit.
Yes.
Bernard, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Tommy. I'm really enjoying the program.
Good.
Kudos to your production and the panel. But just to tell you that, please, if you could help us, the viewers, what the veterinary head of the NEC, Dr. Bona, I don't know if I get it right.
Yeah, Dr. Bona.
It seems they are not allowed to do their work very well at the port. So I really don't know the matter of what it takes really carefully. Please do well and then let's see. If truly they are not doing that work, then it's very dangerous. And it's very scary. Yeah. But I'm very disappointed. I'll be very disappointed if they are not allowed to do their work. Because solely I think it's their work. They have to take those products of animals and do stuff if it doesn't contain any infectious disease and so stuff. And if they are not allowed to do it, I think it's very serious. So please, I think the production team will take it up from there.
Okay.
And then I'll pass the details of that. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Bernard. That's Bernard from Sunyani. He also believes that if the veterinary services is not allowed to do its job efficiently in the ports, it's risky, it's scary, and it's dangerous for the country, particularly in these times. But I don't think it just has to be this time. I think all around times, this is something that needs to be looked at. But Doc, now that you have raised very important information that ordinarily the port health should have been first on the boat and on the vessel. Now they don't have access, they don't have their own boat to go to anchorage. Can we look at, or is the ports authority and the other stakeholders, can you look at having the port health join the team that goes to the anchorage and have them go on board first, check out everything, and then now call the pilots to come on board? Can that be done?
Yeah, that can be done. Why not?
Can that be an immediate option?
A measure we should take immediately to correct
because we are putting our pilots at risk.
Exactly.
No matter how you protect them with the clothes and all of that, they don't have that sign. You know, the kind of
trained for that.
They are not trained for it.
Correct. So I think that we have to look at quickly having a serious discussion as part of preparedness, disaster management preparedness, to make sure that we have a better collaboration with the Ghana Health Service, because as I said, Port Health is an agency of Ghana Health Service. And so if they have to do their work right, just as GPHA has been supporting a lot of agencies, especially government agencies that are working in the port to do their work, in the same vein, we can support port health people to do their work right. If they have to join our marine operations people on the tugboat and go on board, and as you're saying, rightly said, let the port health people go on board the vessel first at the anchorage. Then they declare, say, before our pilots will go on board, that would have been the perfect situation. But for now, as it stands, that is not happening. So we need to look at what we can do quickly. So all the appeal we're making to people is that, especially dockers, shipping agents who go on board vessels to do their work, the stevedores, we are saying that don't rush to go on board the vessel. When the vessel docks at the port, you have to wait for the port health people to go on board, do all their job, do all that they have to do, and declare the vessel safe. Then come down, and then when the yellow flag is lowered, then we know that it's all free practice, meaning the vessel is safe, and then people can now begin to board. It's an appeal. People should not risk their life just because they want to go on board first and collect something from the captain or from other crew members. What is it? Is it worth risking your life? It is not. I mean, you go and get a can Coke and or a whiskey. I don't think your life is
more important than the
definitely
drink that you're
carrying. But coming back to the main concern about our pilots, the marine operations staff, we have concern because when they get any problem, it directly comes with the health people. Anytime a vessel is coming and there is a sick person or a patient on board the vessel, they send signal, they send information to our signal station, which is manned by what? Or is part of the Marine Operations Department. So then they will give information to us, we the health people. Okay, we have so and so on board, we need an ambulance and all that. In this situation, we cannot do that. When they have a suspected case of coronavirus on board a vessel coming to Ghana, and the captain sends a message, that means that we have to inform the National Emergency Management Team.
Before we can take action?
Before we can take action, yes. We need to inform them one. And when the vessel is brought, that means that now we have to now get our pilots to dress appropriately. You know, they will dress in the complete suit, PPE, complete one, cover themselves fully before they can go on board the vessel to bring it in. Once it's declared that there's a suspected case on board our vessel, that's what we have to do. So we're in the process of doing them, training them how to gown and all that. The unfortunate thing is that this material, these PPEs are not readily available. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is ready to buy them, to purchase them, or to procure what we need to work with. But the question is, where can we find them? We have heard in
we
the
don't
news,
even know where we can find them.
Yes, we've heard in the news that Wuhan is one of the places where they were manufacturing face masks. They produce a lot of face masks there, and they've run out.
I see.
They've run out. So
people have gone for them.
Exactly, finished, because they themselves have consumed everything. So where are we going to be getting ourselves? And there are special gowns, just like the Ebola time. We managed, well, in my own way, I managed to secure some few samples of the Ebola gowns which were used the last time at the TEMA General Hospital, the treatment center. And that's what we're keeping, because if a case comes, this is the procedure, simple. That vessel comes, the vessel will be declared an emergency zone. Nobody can board that vessel. Nobody can come down until we do the right thing. Okay. Now, with the health people, not even port health, it is we, the medical people, are now called. We have to gown, we have to clothe appropriately, go on board that vessel to be able to take samples, do the throat swab, take the saliva samples, and then we'll notify again the national, and then we'll send the samples to Noguchi again, as Dr. Bona said. Noguchi is the only lab in Ghana at the moment that can test for coronavirus. Okay. So we'll send the samples until the results come. Fortunately, the results will come within 6 to 12 hours. And when we get the results, then we'll take action. If it's positive, then the rest of it I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay. I'll come back to. So we'll be looking at the remedies now. When after talking to Kofi, who is calling us from. Hello, Kofi. Kwesi, is it? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, Kwesi Dako calling from Accra.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to commend your analysts for a good job done, and want to add my voice to Dr. Bona about the regulatory activities of vets at the ports.
Thank
you.
I
think until recently, veterinary services was solely in charge of regulation of animal products coming from outside into Ghana. But when the country decided to shorten the space of inspection, veterinary services was cut off. And I think it's a very serious matter, because now at the age of zoonotic disease outbreak, like we are seeing now with coronavirus, there's no way we can sidestep veterinary services as far as the inspection of animal products at the ports are concerned. So I'll employ your team to look seriously into this, and whoever is in that, I think things will change.
Okay.
That's my comment.
Thank you very much, Sadako. So, Doctor, it looks like a lot of people are concerned about your role and the fact that it's apparent to all of us that there's a lot missing from your operations around the ports there. What are the remedies that you can propose? At the moment, what can be done for you to effectively engage and put all of us, make us safe as a country, make the people safe?
As at now, because now we are now in the electronic era, we need to be part of the electronic system.
To do what?
So that you can be working, because the gimmicks I'm talking about, that's what use the electronic era.
Yes. So when you're part of the gimmicks, what does that make? What does that do for you? What impact will that have?
It gives you
access to inspection.
Access to inspection, access to the goods as well.
Okay. Which at the moment you're saying you don't have.
Yeah, we don't have that.
You don't have access to the goods?
Yes, we don't have access to them. I've told you already. Wow. We don't have access to the goods. We don't have access to anything over there. As they want, then they will come to you.
Who will come to you?
As
who wants? Okay, as they
decide. Yes, they import. No, it's a very serious issue.
It is very sad
issue.
Until the importer says, I want veterinary to look at it, nobody moves.
Yes. You can come and verify. You can come and verify for my daily monthly report. It's there stated. Almost 1 year now. So in my monthly report, it's stated there.
So what else do you do?
What else? Yes. Nice question. We do boarding as well. Boarding.
What?
We go for boarding.
You mean you go on board the vessel?
Yes. The reason why we go for boarding is they bring out garbage. They're trying to get garbage. The garbage can have products of animal origin you want to throw away. We should be able to assess whether the product the products they bought are from a genuine source or disease-free area.
Okay.
So these are the things we normally go
on board to assess.
Yes.
And have you been doing that?
Yes. And then we have been collecting this manifest of products of animal origin. So I can indicate to you the number of containers that normally pass over there. Without we are interested in there's a revenue aspect of it, but normally we are interested in the disease aspects.
Yeah.
Because the disease, when there's an outbreak of disease in the system, the health burden goes up. It has serious consequences on the country.
Yeah, but the manifest won't be able to help you with the disease aspect of it.
Yeah,
how would
it
that help? It
helps me to collate the products of animals that has entered into the country.
If they have entered and you know it and you know the number, yet you couldn't have access to it and inspect it,
but
what
in a
does
way
that
it
mean?
will help me because in a way
for your records,
yes.
just for records. But at our risk,
at a time T, it will be very important because you might demand it. What am I doing over there?
But
yes, it's one of those things. There's another issue if trailers, one time there were trailers brought from America. They were using it to convey poultry birds from one end to the other. So there were fecals left in the droplets in the trailer. We have to pick samples. We have to send it to a lab to ascertain the viability of the feces and realize that they were having insects, but they were dead. So had it not been that they were dead and we have allowed the thing to enter into the country, that means we have got a different thing altogether. Introducing insects into a country. And there's another issue we deal with when we go for boarding. It's associated with caterpillars and other things, agric machineries. Because what happens is that people use it, and at times, what do you call it?
Farms over there.
Farms over there. Instead of cleaning them, they bring them here. So normally, when they bring them, before we allow the thing to enter into the country, we normally pick some of the soil samples and send it to a lab. Because basically, we are interested in this. There are other things we have to look at, but normally we assess it from the anthrax aspect. So if it's anthrax free, then we can release it. If it is no, we don't allow that thing. And at times, some of the mining machineries, see that instead of washing them, they come with dirt, soil. So we normally pick those things. This year they were not understanding us.
So that they don't go and contaminate our farms as well.
Yes. These are the things, yes.
So these ones, you are allowed to do them. All these ones, inspection of all these things.
That
one you've been doing, the boarding one you've been doing. Okay, so it's the having access to the products, that is where the problem is. Okay. David, as we're wrapping up, and listening to all these things that are going on, from you, the trader point of view, what can be done? What are the remedies you will suggest so that they can be done to ensure that products that you bring in or your people bring in are safe for everybody in this country, and also it would allow you to do good business, particularly from the port side?
Well, I think one of my suggestions would be, you see, every trade or every businessman or woman, as a trader, want to maximize profit. And it is sad to note that you can import animal product, and those who will do the inspection, vets are not part of them. If you leave a businessman, mine is to bring in products.
Sell and make money.
And make money.
You don't care what you're bringing.
So proper measures has to be there at the port of entry. Because you see, Sam, I will bring it for it to be interesting to know. Maybe my mother sitting down there, the downtown. You go and buy some.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be getting the money. But what will I use the money for?
Yeah, good.
You get it. So we will entreat to all our leaders, or maybe those in authority, please, let us do the proper thing.
Okay.
So that we will be in a country that everybody will feel safe.
Yeah.
We don't want to get, maybe you get your money when you're about to chop it or about to spend it.
You have to be
we
treating
spend
diseases.
it on medicine. So that would be my little advice.
Let me pick. I know that there are quite a number of events happening tomorrow. For instance, there's something happening. I'll take from Doc, and also GUTA has something going on. I'll take all of that before I end. But Samuel is calling us from Takwa, and because you are my namesake, I'll pick you as my last caller. Hello, Sammy. Hello, Samuel. Oh, hello. Do we have Samuel? Hello, Samuel.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello, Samuel.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So there's if we can't hear Samuel, let's get the line fixed quickly so that we can come back. There's something on the gizzard that's been talked about, the one that you intend to ban on Monday. Like I said, we may shift this to next week because the distraction will actually take place on Monday. It was supposed to have been done on Friday, but it's moved to Monday. So we'll talk about it and see how we get rid of all these animal products that come into the system. Some of them highly unwholesome, like this gizzard that we'll talk about next week. In the meantime, let's take some news happening around the world as far as the port industry is concerned. And then we will also bring you the schedules of vessels that are coming into the port. I'm sure all of them are corona-free vessels. And then the Bank of Ghana exchange rate right now. So.
Shipping giants Maersk and Mediterranean Shipping Company, which together form the 2M Alliance, have found a new South Korean partner on the Trans-Pacific trade as their cooperation with Hyundai Merchant Marine expires. As informed, the 2M carriers entered into a new cooperation agreement with SM Line beginning on April 1, 2020. According to MSC, the deal ensures the 2M partners will provide continuity of services between Asia and the west coast of North America, with improved services to the Pacific Northwest. The Netherlands Coast Guard has stated that several containers have fallen off a handy container ship in stormy seas 43 kilometers north of Ameland, one of the Dutch West Frisian Islands. The incident involving the 1,425 TEU OOCL Roma occurred on February 11, 2020, while the vessel was en route from the port of Kotka in Finland to the port of Rotterdam. Having transited the Kiel Canal in Germany, the 2009-built ship encountered heavy weather, resulting in containers being lost overboard.
Okay. So welcome back. Doc, as we're wrapping up, yes. I know that among some of the discussions that are going on tomorrow, the quasi-health services you're meeting, is it?
That's right.
Okay. Where is it happening? And
yes,
who are these people and what's going to be done there?
Thank you very much, Sami. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, for that matter, the Health Services Department, is a member of the quasi-government health institutions, which is an umbrella body that takes care of, we have come together as an association, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Cocoa Board, Trust Hospital, the universities, okay. VRA Hospital. So we are all members of this association.
All the
quasi-health services. And tomorrow we're having a crash meeting, an emergency meeting at the International Maritime Hospital in TEMA, okay. to discuss our preparedness for this coronavirus. And so okay. we are hosting it, so it's be an opportunity okay. for maybe Iron Port to cover us.
No worries, we'll definitely be.
Yes. But if I may quickly take opportunity to say that, look, it is real. Coronavirus infection is real. It is not a hoax. It is real. And it is affecting lives, taking okay. people's lives. It's affecting trade. It's affecting businesses. Yeah. So what we're saying is that let us take the necessary precautions. For now, we know how it is transmitted. So for now, hand washing is one thing I want to just say. Please, let's all continue to wash our hands properly with soap and running water. If you don't have a tap, you can use sachet water and then just tear one portion and let somebody pour it down and it becomes running water. If you have standing water where you wash your hand with, it is nothing, you've done nothing. Proper hand washing is under running water with soap. Clean water with soap. So please, people should wash their hands. And let's stop touching our faces with our hands. We said that, look, because we can pick the virus, just like we saw the lift, people, you touch surface, if you pick the virus on your hands, you can easily transfer it onto your
So what should institutions also do?
Institutions.
So what about sanitizers,
I'm coming
elevators?
There. I'm definitely coming there, but hand washing is the best. Then in the absence of water, then you can use your hand sanitizers. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. So every organization should provide this hand sanitizer advantage for people to use. Okay. And the basic thing also of using hand gloves. Okay. People who have to board the vessels, people who have to get in contact with contaminated services must wear hand gloves. Okay.
So I think I've got, you said that I was done with all my calls, but I had a quick one. Solomon had been on the line for a long time. Yeah. And he also bears the name with my producer, so I have no choice. Solomon is on the line. Good evening, Solomon. Hello, Solomon.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your line is okay. Let's go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Get it loud and clear. Yeah. I just want to say good evening to your panelists.
Good evening, sir.
And congratulations for all the good messages they are delivering.
Thank you.
But what I want to say, especially to my brother and friend, Dr. Bona.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're talking so much about veterinary not being at the final point of inspection. Yeah, when we had all this meeting at the Vice President's office as regards the single window, veterinary services were properly invited, and Dr. Dixon, I can remember, was always there.
I see.
And it came to a point that they said because we have more than 17 and 21 agencies doing inspections, and to make sure that is competitive and then efficient in the clearing, where they take only 3 agencies to be the front liner to do the final inspection. Yeah. That is when the container is opened or when there's intrusive inspection.
Yeah.
And therefore, it was GSA, it was FDA, it was Customs.
Yeah.
And there, like I said, so when that happened, even if you look at plant quarantine or TPRS, when we had a meeting at the Vice President office, it came to a time that when they were supposed to be embedded means that if they say FDA is the front line, then all the other agencies that are working with FDA who are working, like the talk of plant quarantine, where Dr. Fisher talked, and they were embedded in it. So now, we are at the same point inspecting at MPAs at the platform.
Okay.
Now, at that time, veterinary didn't say anything, and they decided that maybe if there's anything, those that are inspecting, whether GSA, FDA, or Customs, when there's a problem, we simply contact whichever agency is supposed to be there. My brother, Dr. Bona, we called him several times when there was an issue concerning cow hide. And we put our heads together with Customs and we solved it. So to say that maybe somebody is possibly taking him out of that job, it is neither here nor there. We have severally met with customs. We have met with importers and exporters.
Okay, let me find out. Let me find out this from you, Solomon. Would you?
This is Solomon. This is Solomon.
Okay, so let me find out this real quick. Would you say that FDA and veterinary services are properly coordinating within the chain?
I said what?
Will you say, from the way you are talking, I'm assuming that you know the process and you are part of the chain. Would you say that the current system allows FDA and veterinary to properly coordinate?
Exactly. If there is anything, if you ask Dr. Bona, severally I have called him if there are any doubts on anything.
Okay. So you feel that the current process is okay?
Is that?
You're saying that you are satisfied with the current process?
No, what I'm talking of is if there is anybody who has a problem, like now, FDA even have, maybe your line is not clear, but FDA.
Okay, so we have a bad line now. For the we'll have our producers get in contact with you and get to know exactly where. Okay, exactly where you play, so that we can have this conversation going forward another time, because we're far gone ahead of time. So let me. I think Dr. Bona, you have the last one because we've had GUTA. In terms of dealing with this coronavirus, what final advice would you give?
Well, I want to make some last submission.
Okay.
There were information going around that we have got coronavirus in broilers. Yeah, but it's not true.
Broiler chicken?
Yes. It seemed they were dying. They attributed the thing to coronavirus, but it's not true.
Okay.
There's suspected to be bird flu. Bird flu. So they look alike because they're the same virus and those things. So
but the bird flu was right. It was true that they
quite recently. So they attributed it to coronavirus. I just want to assure people that they don't have that. Yes.
Okay. Thank
you. We haven't got that problem in the system.
Okay.
And we're talking about readiness and those things. Basically, like we lack logistics.
Who should provide them?
It should come from our directorate.
Okay.
Or because now we have got one world, one health. So what is happening right now about these meetings is in conjunction with Ministry of Health and Environment. They have a common system.
Okay.
So now there's something devoted that it should be meant.
Okay.
That thing should come from that.
David, you have the last one in 30 seconds.
I think there was some few days ago you issued some press release, and people have been calling our offices. Those times that people were maybe afraid of going to UK embassy, maybe with the fear that they won't get visas to travel. I told you earlier on the program that last 2 years we went to UK at Birmingham Chamber of Commerce. A lot of them also came down, and now a lot of our people are doing business in UK. So Greater Accra GUTA, we can go to Greater Accra GUTA, Ashanti Regional GUTA, and even to the national office.
Okay.
You come, you assist you, so that we get
the international market is open to you.
Yes, if only your documentations are right. I see no reason why you will refuse at least.
Thank you very much, David. So David Amoating, or Kwejo Amoating, is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman for Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. Dr. Stephen Bona is the head of Veterinary Regulatory Unit at the Port of TEMA. Also, Dr. Vitus Anabisi is the General Manager, Health Services, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We've been talking today about coronavirus, the threats that it poses to trade, as well as the impact, the interventions, and some of the remedies that we can propose. It's been a long discussion. We'll see you same time next week.